have a little bit of news on Switch. First off, Switch hit 7 million in Japan.
Nice.
And that's a nice little number, nice way to kick off 2019, blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out that it is currently outpacing what the Wii sold in Japan.
That's crazy.
In terms of weeks on the market.
That is crazy.
And for those who want to know, the Wii itself only sold 12.75 million in Japan. So a majority of its sales were elsewhere in the world. Now, Japan's always been more of a handheld market, since Switch kind of serves handheld and home console. Right. It's not a surprise that Switch is going to surpass Wii pretty easily. Right. The question is if it's ever going to catch up to DS, 3DS, 24 million plus. But it's outpacing the Wii, which is the biggest home console success they've ever had. DS is the biggest success they've ever had. Whether or not you consider Switch a home console or not, Nintendo considers it a home console.
And that's all that matters to them.
That's all that matters for them. So Switch might end up being their second best or best-selling home console ever, depending on where the numbers end up. So the question I really have is, why is Switch successful? Like, Wii U just seemed to do everything wrong. And we even just started this by kind of blasting Switch a little bit heading in about, like, mocking its online service, mocking its lack of features.
Right.
But in spite of all this, it's successful. Why? Like, you bought it day one. I know Breath of the Wild was a big reason, but like, it had to be more just Breath of the Wild. Something about the system.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we didn't even get to play Breath of the Wild on the system ahead of it. We played it on Wii U.
Right.
At E3.
Yeah.
So,
yes,
in your own words, like, why do you think Switch is such a big success?
I think, I know you said it's a little bit that the Wii U is a little bit more better to hold in your hands. It does fit fairly well in your hands. It is, slightly a little clunky, but not terrible. The convenience of it, just to be able to take it and go and have, high quality games, is amazing. And the fact that you can just take it and then just go, oh, I want to play on my TV now? Drop it in the dock, and there it is. It's a convenience factor. I really think it's the convenience factor.
Okay. Question now.
Yes.
I happen to know you didn't use it on a TV until Pokemon.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
I mean, maybe with Chris when you were playing Smash.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you played Smash on TV.
Yeah.
So my thing is, were you really using this any different than you would a DS or 3DS?
No, probably not, but it gives them the option to do it.
Just knowing you had the option, even if you weren't using it.
Right. Yeah.
Just knowing that, you know what, if I want to put this on a TV.
Yeah.
Like, if you know, like, Pokemon came out, you knew, hey, I could put this on a TV.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Smash came out, hey, I know I could put this on a TV.
Right. And I've used the dock.
I mean, heck, you still haven't put Breath of the Wild on TV yet. What's wrong with you? Oh, you have?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome on the screen, but then when you get it on the big screen, you're
I know.
Oh, this is the world I'm a king of.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Welcome to my kingdom.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like.
Yeah, right.
First time I put it on this big screen down here, I was like, oh, I don't care that it's a little pixelated because that's 4K. This is my world. Yeah, like, one thing, like, we talked about a little bit before during the Wii U topic, and I think part of it, like, the design itself is just sleek.
Yeah.
You look at this, like, and you got a phone here, like, I mean, look at that. It's like the same size. Like, the tablet part's like a little bit bigger than my phone. Mm-hmm. The only thing that feels a little off in today's world are the giant bezels.
Right.
But we'll get into that in a later topic. Right. But it's like it just feels like a device an adult would be okay being seen holding.
Right. Yeah.
The Wii U gamepad felt like you were holding a toy. This feels like you're holding something special, something different. So even just, especially if you take the Joy-Cons off and you're just like, dude, it's just,
right there.
It's just
a tablet.
It's a phablet, man. You're just
I
mean, you can't do that, Nintendo. Maybe you should get on that, but like it's just such a sleek, interesting concept. Easy to understand.
Right.
I think is one thing this thing had over Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Wii U's advertising, people weren't sure if it's an accessory, what it is, and all that. This right away, as soon as you hear the word Switch, you're just like,
wait, it does what?
Then you see you see the commercials, you see the box. So grab the box for a second. Okay, because remember how like the box for Wii U was confusing, right? So it has this right on one side of the box. So you have the what might confuse people. You have like this thing in a dock thing with his fingers on it and this weird looking dog controller. But then you flip it around, and it's like, Oh, the Switch. It could be this or this.
I mean, when I first heard the name before they actually like showed the concept of it, I'm like, Switch. That,
I mean, look
that
at the
doesn't-
advertising on the sides.
Right.
Like the commercial, like it just made like the moment when they unveiled this thing back in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that commercial! Or that was the commercial. It was just an unveiling trailer or whatever. The guy's playing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And I remember being excited because it was the first time we saw Hinox.
Yeah.
I was in that thing.
Yeah, right.
We're like, what is that?
Oh.
That's awesome. Okay, the dog's barking at the door and has to go potty.
Uh-huh.
The guy turns off his TV, walks over to the system,
Snaps the.
picks it up out of the dock. The game is right there and
Yeah.
walks out the door to walk
Right.
his dog. Instantly, it's like, oh my,
Yeah.
why is nobody doing this?
Right. Exactly.
Why did it take this? Why wasn't
Right.
Wii U this?
Right.
Like
Right.
instant understanding of that makes so much sense.
Oh, it switches from there to here. I like it.
Yeah, and then like even like the Switch sound effect, like
Yeah, right.
What is that sound effect?
Yeah.
It's the one they included when you connect a Joy-Con like this, when
Yeah.
it's on, of course.
That-
it goes. It's why? Because you're switching the form factor of how you're playing.
Yeah. Or
It makes-
it's also the kind of the sound too is when you get the
And then you.
switch plugged into your dock too. It kind of
And then even though
kind of
they
almost
had
clicks in
some
a little
weird
bit.
situations too, like Karen. Oh, Karen.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is one of the things we might talk about in another topic about the
Yeah.
kickstand. But like Karen would like, would bust this thing out, set it down, and get like 1-2 switch going, grabs the
Yeah.
controller off.
Yeah.
Or like suddenly they're playing Mario Kart sideways and you're like, okay, that doesn't look comfortable.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't look comfortable.
no, it doesn't look comfortable at all.
But it kind of made sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you take it off and you're like, oh, you got the 4 buttons, the steering, you got the 2 shoulder. That makes sense. It
It
doesn't
does.
look comfortable, and admittedly, it's not the most comfortable
It's
way to
not,
play.
but it's not terrible though either.
It's acceptable.
I've-
It's
I've
better
had
with
worse.
kids. It's better with kids' hands.
Right. I've had worse experiences.
Yeah, you want to know what's the worst
So-
experience? The Game Boy Micro.
I don't know if I've ever played one.
Okay. God, this thing kickstand. I know this isn't an OG kickstand, but
Right.
anyways, the Game Boy Micro was like this big.
Oh, good
okay?
God.
Play Game Boy Advance games, and you're just like,
Oh, good
Oh,
God.
it was
That yeah,
bad.
no. No.
it was bad. And the thing is, the idea was probably for it to be for kids,
right.
but like,
No.
no,
No.
it was no.
Yeah.
That should not have existed. I guess it's kind of cool as a novelty item for collectors now, but like I think just the design itself,
Yeah.
just it made so much sense. I mean, yeah, no one understood the camera at the time. Like it doesn't matter. Taking the Joy-Cons off, instant multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what does that remind you? Oh yeah, you can kind of do that on Wii. A couple Wiimotes. That made sense.
Yeah.
But then like, oh wait, the guy's playing like a traditional Zelda game or Skyrim,
Right.
like right there, or
Right.
like it's just like, oh my gosh, this system looks like a system that does it all.
Mm-hmm.
This
Right,
is
no, for
this
sure.
is the Wii successor. This is a traditional home console. This is the successor to the 3DS. This is the successor to the Vita. This is the successor to the Wii U. This is everything in
Rolled
one
into one.
system.
Yeah.
And that's before we even get to the games.
Yeah. Right.
It was just
Right.
everything in one.
Right.
And obviously it helps to have a launch game like Breath of the Wild.
Definitely.
Because Breath of the Wild grabbed the attention of hardcore gamers everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2016 especially.
Mm-hmm.
It really, that E3, it grabbed a whole bunch of awards, had all the attention, much deserved.
Oh, definitely.
And then you're like, okay, because it was a weird E3 too, because Nintendo told us Breath of the Wild's coming on our next platform, the NX. It's coming on
Yep.
the NX.
The NX. Yep.
It's gonna be a launch game on NX, and you're just like, okay, but we're playing it on Wii U, so like, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
utterly awesome. What is the NX?
Right. Yeah,
What is this?
what
thing?
is the difference going to be?
So like they had this launch game that was attracting the hardcore gamers, adults, and everything. Like everyone's like, oh my gosh, I gotta play this Zelda game one way or another. Gotta play this Zelda
Yeah.
game. And then this is what you unveil it's gonna be on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh well, that can't be as powerful as it's more powerful than a Wii U.
Yeah. Right. Wait. What? What? How?
So you're telling me I can get this sleek, sexy looking system that has all these multiple forms to it, and it comes with Breath of the Wild at launch?
Yeah.
done.
Right.
And I think that was like that combination of the killer launch title that attracted adults combined with like not only an awesomely designed system, but a killer marketing strategy.
God,
Every
yeah.
commercial heading into launch was nothing but young adults.
Right.
You didn't see grandparents. You didn't see little kids. It was all young adults.
Also, everything was, it felt, all of their commercials were like up-paced, fast tempo, get you excited, get you into it.
Yeah, even the Super Bowl commercial.
Right.
It's like, one, they don't always have commercials at the Super Bowl. They did, and it just made sense. It's like, well, everything about the system just made sense. And again, I have my criticisms.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, dude,
Yeah.
even today, like, think about this. In just under 3 months from now, this Switch and yours will be 2 years old. At least
That's
officially
crazy.
since we bought it.
Right.
Manufactured probably 6 months before or whatever.
Right.
2 years old. And I'm still sitting here in 2019, and I'm like, this thing is still slick.
Mm-hmm.
This is still unlike anything I've ever touched.
Oh, for sure.
And I owned a Vita briefly. I owned a PSP.
Mm-hmm.
Systems I thought were sleek. This is like a whole new level.
Oh, definitely.
This feels like something I am proud to walk around with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that more than anything, I think what this was a reminder for Nintendo of, not only, because Nintendo was always of mind, if we have a killer software title, people will buy the hardware. Fine, cool. That was something they always said. If we have the software, people will show up. Granted, I understand that mentality because we buy systems to play games.
Right.
So if you have the killer games, people will buy the system to play it regardless. That was their idea. Well, I think Wii U had a lot of killer games,
Right.
but the Wii U itself wasn't an attractive system.
Right.
It looked bulky. It looked childish. It didn't make sense. It looked expensive. None of it made sense on the market. The system itself is attractive, regardless of like, yeah, Breath of the Wild was a huge reason, but even if it wasn't Breath of the Wild, say they launched with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a Wii U port of all things,
Right.
I think it still would have sold like hotcakes.
Oh, yeah.
Because the system itself is attractive. And if there's one thing I hope Nintendo learns from all of this, is that for lack of a better term, having a system that has sex appeal is something that matters. This is what PlayStation's been doing forever.
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation's brand, until very recently, very weird what Sony's trying to do right now and trying to become family friendly all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But Sony's brand up until now has always been like, we're the sleek system.
But
we're the sexy system. We're the adult system. We're the system you feel proud to tell people you own when you're in your 40s.
But wait, I thought they were the ones that could best protect the kids.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, and now they're now censoring third-party games on their platform from like showing cleavage and stuff. It's real. I don't know. Like, I don't know what Sony's doing. They're trying to be Nintendo now, and I just don't get it.
After bashing Nintendo not too long ago.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand it, but whatever. Especially like I really don't understand with Sony because
I-
PlayStation 4 is about to cross 100 million units, right? PlayStation 1 sold 101. PlayStation 2 sold 155. Oh no, their worst selling system, PlayStation 3, sold 84 million. Like all of their systems have been way more successful than Nintendo's. So like, why go after the market that Nintendo not only kind of owns, but is clearly smaller than the market you have? Like the Wii and DS era combined, sure, amazing. No one's been able to touch that.
Right.
But the thing is, the Wii on its own, like for all the massive blue ocean strategy and all the success it did, I mean, it still just touched what PlayStation 1 did. And when PlayStation 1 wasn't for everyone.
Right.
So, I don't know why Sony wants to suddenly turn. Especially when like their system's about to cross 100 million, might get up to 120 when it's all said and done. It's like, why change strategies? You have like the perfect spot in the marketplace.
Yeah.
And you basically own it to yourself right now. This kind of sort of appeals to that market a little bit, but not entirely.
Right.
Xbox gained a little bit of market with Xbox One X, but PlayStation's still massively the king. So it's like, why? But whatever. You know what?
Yeah.
I don't understand what they're doing. I guess I don't have to understand what they're doing.
Look for a new Sony podcast. No, wait.
Yeah, I really don't understand what they're doing. But I don't understand what Nintendo does half the time either, to be honest. Does anybody?
There is that.
Half
the time I wonder if Nintendo knows what they're doing.
But like this system, just everything about this system is just
right.
I
mean,
like as soon as I saw that commercial in 2016 when they showed off the NX's Switch, I'm like, this thing's gonna explode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not only does it make sense, not only does it this, not only that. What's one issue that all the Nintendo platforms have kind of had for a while? Game droughts. If some people argue it still happens because they're still supporting the 3DS.
Yeah.
The idea of Switch, at least what it felt like at the time, is it would be the 3DS and Wii U, but all the games put together on one platform. And we have had that to an extent, but this is the year when it's really happening. We're getting a Fire Emblem game when we haven't had a Fire Emblem one on a home console. We just had a Pokemon, we're getting another Pokemon game. So now we're starting to get the games that were handheld. I'm sure we'll get a Monster Hunter here eventually. Yokai Watch is supposed to come this year. So Ace Attorney is coming as well. So like, there's a lot of games coming. God, there's a lot of games coming this year. And that's not even getting into all of them. Animal Crossing, that's back again. We haven't seen that on a home console since what? City Folk? I think on Wii,
Sure.
something like that. So, I get why this was successful. Why it's still successful. Why in 2019 they're still selling a tablet for $300 that might even be underpowered compared to this.
Theoretically, yeah.
But they get away with it anyways because it's just such a well put together platform. It makes sense. It's simple. Even the cartridges. It's like, oh, the cartridges are expensive and this and that. But doesn't it make sense on a platform like this? Way more than Sony when they were using the UMD discs. And like it just makes sense. Of course you're using cartridges on this. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, right.
You don't want to have to install every game.
Right.
The cartridges are faster, so you don't need to do game installs. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, they're basically mini PCs now. You install games.
Yeah.
You don't have to install in here. Well... Right. If you buy a third-party game, then there's probably like a 9 gig download in addition to the thing because the cartridges are expensive. But whatever, it's
here nor there.
It uses micro SD cards. Just made sense. Like, of course you use micro SD cards. Why wouldn't you?
It feels like a phone. It feels like a tablet. It feels like something that you'd slide.
Like I'm just like rubbing it right now, and I'm like, dude, this is nice.
That is definitely something that screams, "Put a card in me."
Hold on, credit card.
Yeah, right.
Wait, it's already got that on there from me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think just Nintendo nailed it out of the park.
It did.
And we're in 2019, and it still works. And I think.